So one of the questions that we both often get is about title insurance. So Joe's going to tell you guys a little bit about why you need title insurance, why it's so important.
Yeah, and I'll start by just bringing up an anecdote, a story that happened recently, and it is the most common issue I have when we are talking title issues that come up, where I would say 1 to 2 times a week we actually rely on a title policy that a buyer purchases at closing to clear an issue that comes up when they go to sell the home 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it is, down the road. And the scenario that I had was, as part of title, what we do is we look up the legal history of the property. So we get a report done. We look back for the last 60 years of the legal history of the property, and we see anything that's impacted title. So in this particular situation, we did our title search, and there appeared to be a mortgage from the prior owner who owned the home that was dated 1986. And what happened in this situation in particular was that 1986 mortgage appeared not to be paid off. So we reached out to the seller, hey seller, do you have a copy of your owner's title policy so we can clear this issue? And unfortunately, they were unable to find it. So what did that mean? Well, that means first, we had to reach out to the bank who had taken out this mortgage and ask the bank, hey, is this a mistake? Has this been paid off? Well, unfortunately, the bank that was on record is no longer in business. So we had to reach out to the successor in interest and ask them, hey, do you guys have record of this? Can you look this up, see if this loan was in fact paid off? Unfortunately, that meant the bank that was holding the loan currently had to look in the archives, and it took them 60 days to go back into their archives and confirm. Meanwhile, we had a seller who was ready to move, ready to close, and we had a buyer who was ready to move in. And unfortunately, because the seller didn't have their owner's title policy, we had to delay closing until that was resolved. So it did get resolved, and we did get close to the closing table, but it took longer than anyone wanted it to take. And that's one of the reasons why, if you're getting ready to sell a home, it's so important to find your owner's title policy from when you purchase the property, and when you buy a home, why you should get one in the first place.
Exactly, because you would not believe how many times, there's a lot of great stories about how to be a special investor or how to do things cheaper without us, right? Or different parts, but you never get the follow-up story, which is years later when there's like some issue with the title, somehow taxes have become an issue, or something that was there a long time ago.
Past HOA lien.
A past HOA lien, something that you now have signed and said, hey, I'm willing to be responsible for, because had they not figured out a way to resolve that issue, that new seller would have been responsible for paying off that old balance of a mortgage.
That was from a prior owner that they had nothing to do with.
For more of these tips and great stories and scenarios that could come up, whether you're a new buyer or a move-up buyer or an investor, join us for our finance workshop on February 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be an amazing brunch. It's going to be so yummy, so full of information too. Can't wait to see you guys there.
See you guys there.
Bye.